The clinking of silverware against chinawas, a mocking soundtrack to the charade unfolding before me. It was our 10th anniversary, a milestone I had approached with a hopeful heart, envisioning a cozy, intimate dinner, just the two of us. Instead, Rose had insisted on inviting her friend Troy, to be exact, sat across from us, his slimy smile making my skin crawl. It had been a slow burn realization of what was happening between them. A stolen glance here, a lingering touch, their things I had initially dismissed as my own insecurities, but tonight it was undeniable. Rose's wink, that blatant brazen wink, was a dagger straight to my gut. It was a confirmation, a taunt, a betrayal so profound it nearly stole my breath. It was directed at Troy, his eyes locking with hers in a silent, revolting conversation for a moment. The blood roared in my ears. I wanted to flip the double scream until my throat was raw, but I didn't. I had a plan, and it needed to play out, just so I had spent weeks building this moment. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment reaction fueled by rage alone. This was calculated, meticulous, a slow burn mirroring the pain I had been enduring. The gift presented next was not the ruby necklace she was surely expecting, or any trinketto celebrate our decade together. Instead, I pushed a small velvet box across the table toward her. It was the same box Tude used to present her engagement ring years ago. Rose's eyes widened, a flicker of something like genuine excitement crossing her face before she slowly reached for the box. When she opened it, their smile faltered, then died completely. The box was empty. The gasps came from all three of us, but hers was the only one tinged with genuine horror. "Where's the necklace, honey? I thought it would be perfect for our anniversary. I saw it in a shop window just last week, remember?" I kept my tone light, conversational, like we were discussing the weather. My eyes, however, were locked on her face, watching her meticulously constructed facade begin to crumble. Troy shifted uncomfortably in his chair. He too was caught off guard. I don't know what you mean." Rose stuttered, her voice a strained whisper. The practice nonchalance was gone, replaced by a roar. Naked panic, really. I thought it was perfect, but then again, I had a second idea here, a different gift one I think you'll find illuminating. I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a USB drive. "This, my dear, is a gift I've curated just for you." The color drained from her face. She knew in that instant that she was caught. She had to know it. Plugged the drive into the small portable projector I had stashed behind me earlier and connected it to a blank wall. A series of photos flashed across the wall, photos of them, Rose and Troy, in stolen moments at his apartment at her office on our anniversary trip last year that she insisted I couldn't make, and told me she'd gone with her friends. The final nail in the coffin was a video. It was short, only a few minutes long, but it chronicled in nauseating detail the depths of their betrayal. It was enough to make her blush and Troy squirm. The silence in the room was deafening. Rose was staring at the wall, her face pale, tears streaming down her cheeks. Troy, who'd been so smug just moments before, was now looking at his lap, like he could somehow disappear into the tablecloth. He opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came out. "You know," I said, my voice dangerously low, "I always thought we were a team, a partnership, but I guess some partnerships are just meant to be broken." I moved towards Troy, the fury I had been suppressing finally finding its outlet. I growled, grabbing him by his shirt. Had the audacity to look me in the eye, to sit at my table, and to treat me like a fool. I dragged him from his chair, the sound of the wood scraping against the floor echoing in the suddenly silent restaurant. He tried to wriggle free, to protest, but I wouldn't let him. I slammed him against the wall. The force of the impact reverberated through the room. His eyes, wide with fear, met mine. I didn't see remorse. I saw only the fear of a man finally facing the consequences of his actions. "You're a parasite, Troy. I spot a leech. You feed off other people's lives, other people's happiness." Each word was a punch, a blow delivered with the weight of all the weeks of betrayal I had endured. I hit him again, harder, this time sending his head bouncing off the wall. He crumpled to the floor, whimpering. The restaurant staff, who had been watching in frozen horror, finally rushed to intervene. They tried to pull me away, but I was beyond reason. I was fueled by a righteous anger, a burning need to make him understand the depth of the pain he'd caused. "You think you're so smart, don't you?" I kicked him hard in the ribs. "You think you can just wall into someone's life and take what you want?" I continued the assault, each blow a release of the pain and anger that had been festering inside me. He didn't fight back. He just curled into a ball, begging me to stop it. Was pathetic eventually. The manager was able to separate us. Was breathing hard, my knuckles throbbing. But there was a strange sense of calm that had settled over me. It was a dark, savage calm, but it was a calm. Nonetheless, the police arrived shortly after they took my statement, and they took Troy away. He was looking disheveled, blood streaming from his nose and mouth. Didn't look so smug now. He looked like the pathetic, broken man he was. Rose was a mess. She was on the floor sobbing uncontrollably, a puddle of tears and mascara and broken promises. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just a hollow emptiness. I walked over to her and pulled the wedding ring from my finger. I dropped it in front of her, the metal making a dull clink on the hardwood floor. "Congratulations, Rose, you've successfully destroyed our marriage." I took a deep breath. "I'm done." I turned and walked out of the restaurant, the silence following me. I had no plan, no destination, but in that moment, I felt a sense of freedom that I hadn't felt in years. I knew the road ahead would be hard, would be painful, but I was finally truly free. The aftermath was chaotic. The scandal hit the local news. Troy's reputation was ruined, his career was over. He was a pariah. And rightly so. Rose tried to reach out to me, called incessantly, sent countless texts, begging for forgiveness. But my heart was a stone. I had nothing left to give her, no more forgiveness to offer. Our divorce was quick and brutal. The lawyers were the only ones who benefited from the wreckage of our marriage. She was left with nothing but the ruins of her betrayal. I walked away, leaving behind the rubble and moving on to pick up my own shattered pieces. It wasn't a happy ending, not in the traditional sense, but it was an ending. And it was mine. I had taken back control. I had faced my pain. And I had come out the other side scared but not broken. That in itself was a kind of victory.